Hey there, y'all, and welcome to today's Daily Down and Dirty. My name is Fairlight. Welcome to Airy Fairy Tarot. All right, y'all, the message today is about alchemy, transmutation, and integration. So we start out with this card that looks a lot like all three of those things. This is a card that named the reading, actually. And even though this person went a different way with the tarot, it is number 18, so it's somewhat aligned to the energies of the moon. And you notice that she's not giving her attention to what's in the shadow. She's giving her attention to the alchemy, to the self-reflection and the new self-image. I feel like that right there just goes right in alignment with, this Venusian energy that we're about to experience, Venus stationing retrograde tomorrow. So, so then I want to go off on a rant because I like to do that. And, so as children, we get told, tell the truth, always tell the truth. And then so often we tell the truth and then we get in trouble for telling the truth. We definitely may have been punished for speaking our personal truth. And so often what would get reinforced is, one, tell people what they want to hear, and otherwise conform. And if you think about it, there's not an honest fucking thing about conformity. It's all about fear and control. I think I've talked about this before. I'm pretty sure of it. But anyway, so as we get reinforced with this idea of conformity, it goes along with don't behave this way, don't behave this way, this isn't in alignment with conformity. Basically reinforcing the idea, this aspect of you is not acceptable, this aspect of you is not acceptable, this aspect of you is not acceptable. Maybe I've said all this pretty recently, but it just feels like it bears repeating. Again, maybe attuning to this Venus retrograde energy. It's about aligning to your own self-worth, ultimately. So as we learn that all these different parts and pieces of us are unacceptable, it becomes very fragmenting. We learn that it's not safe to be ourselves. And so those fragmented pieces of ourselves don't really go away. There's nowhere for them to go. They're who we are, but they get relegated to the shadow realm. And so we're not allowed to look at it. And so when the shadow invariably shows up in all these different ways, seeking to be integrated, seeking to be recognized, seeking to be loved and, accepted and all of these things, seeking the light, we become self-domesticating, like in that book, The Four Agreements, where, self-domesticating, where we become the indoctrinators of keeping those fragments in the shadows. Sorry, of course I ate a gummy. And so we go into this space of self-criticism, self-denial, self-rejection, even self-punishment, and maybe even projecting those parts of ourselves onto others, whatever it is. So now as we turn to this alchemy, it's like we're allowing what's in the shadows to gain that reflection. And as we alchemize it through the light of our own consciousness, as we alchemize it through the light of our attention, basically, we are able to transmute a lot of the trauma that went along with locking those pieces of ourselves away, because a lot of times there's trauma locked away with it. If we were punished for behaving a certain way, or, if we were, not accepted for something we had to say or whatever it is. So again, there's some sort of a reclamation taking place over and over and over again. I just keep wanting to talk about reclamation. And so again, a good little exercise we can do when these fragmented parts of ourselves show up, notice, like making a commitment to bring consciousness to when you go into self-rejection, self-criticism, self-denial, self-punishment, and journal. Journal. Write about it. What was the thing? What was the thing that happened? What was my reaction to it? And why? What are my beliefs about this? And really allow yourself to write about what your beliefs are. And then later on, when you're in a different state of being, go spend some time in nature or do some psychedelics or whatever. Then you can go back and read what you wrote, but have a more objective approach to it and ask yourself as you're reading, is this really what I believe? Or is this what I was told I have to believe? And what would I choose to believe if I felt like I had a choice? And as you ask yourself this, and as you're honest with this, as you shine a light on it, you may discover that the truths that you believe aren't really what you believe at all. You just haven't felt safe in being authentic about who you truly are and what you truly believe. And as you open up the dialogue to your inner being, as you allow the reflection, the light to shine on those fragmented parts of yourself, you are able to, again, alchemize that trauma and integrate those pieces into your wholeness. And then, you know, if you were unacceptable before, you'll really be unacceptable now, but it doesn't fucking matter because you accept you, you value you, you love you, you know who you are, and you choose authenticity, because it's that whole thing. Conformity, there's not an honest fucking thing about conformity. And so it's like, if I have to lie about who I am or hide a part of who I am in order for you to accept me, let's just cut to the chase. You don't accept me. And it's not always easy, especially when it's people that we care about. And so along with it comes this 8 of water card reversed. And so it does feel like with this process that's going on, and it feels like it's a cyclical thing where there's many fragments that we have to integrate. So, you know, there's a lot of trauma to process. There's a lot of beliefs to transmute and to process, and a lot of self-acceptance to bring in. And so it feels like with this, because normally this feels like a card of joy. This is like full illumination of the self, whatever's in the dark being brought into light, and really discovering your voice with these dolphins here. And it's connected to what you deeply feel about your deep emotions with all this water. And so with this being reversed, again, it's subconscious. It's like the moon reversed. And so it can feel a little bit crazy making. While you are integrating and processing all of this, you're bringing up a lot of trauma, you're bringing up a lot of memories, you're bringing up aspects of yourself that you're now learning to love, but there are parts of you that you were taught to hate. And so it's not an easy process. So just know that this is a cycle that's happening for you, and it feels like this Venus retrograde is going to be pretty intense about surfacing these aspects of self and integrating and really learning self-love. Like, I can't emphasize self-love enough. So then we move to the 10 of earth reversed and the 7 of water reversed. And so with the 10 of earth, if that's upright, you see that she's unmasking. Again, really taking off those masks, refusing to conform for acceptance. It's like, no, I love myself so fucking much. I'll be damned if I'm going to deny who I am for anybody else's approval. And so, but with this reversed, it often feels like when cards are in reversal, it can be the opposite of whatever the upright meaning is, but oftentimes it feels like it's a process that's happening. And so, and especially with the 10 of earth, this is a process. 1, 10s indicate the completion of a cycle. And so, you're processing, closing out cycles. And then 2, with that earth energy, this is about self-worth. This is about money. This is about abundance. This is about seeds. And it's very slow moving energy. And so that self-worth, that self-acceptance, it's a very kind of a visceral feeling, and so it does take a while to close out old cycles and to bring new ones in. And so with the 7 of water being reversed, again, I like to look at it upright to understand it more clearly. She's in this dream state and she's sending her desires out to the universe. And I love that it's all this dreamy stuff. Recognizing that thoughts are things, recognizing that manifestation, it's that hermetic as above, so below. And so it is in the thought realm, but it's also connected to the emotions. It's connected to that emotional realm, that water realm, that deep, subconscious, subliminal, whatever it is. And it's very heart-centered. I keep wanting to go to the heart and saying, unlock your heart. And so with both of these being reversed, it's like unlocking what you truly desire in your life, what you truly truly desire just to experience in whatever. And with this unmasking, because part of that mask is an indoctrinated belief that we have to accept others' definitions of what happiness is, and accept others' definitions of what success looks like, and accept others' definitions. And so again, bringing these to the surface, it's getting very clear about who you are authentically, and being sovereign enough to choose to send out, as Esther Hicks would say, those rockets of desire. So then we come up here, and this is where it kind of takes a turn towards romantic relationships. It looks like ultimately you're possibly wanting to come into union. If you're not coming into union with an actual partner, then you are coming into union with all aspects of self, with your own, inner masculine and feminine coming into union, uniting your light and your dark. Again, integration. I love integration. And so again, regardless whether it's on the inside or the outside, and keeping a balance with that. It could be that you are challenged in a relationship because if both of you are working on this deep self-worth and deep self-acceptance, of course it's going to play out in the mirrors of each other. But you can play it out in your own mirror of yourself. But something about keeping that balance. Now I want to kind of work backwards. So we have this 2 of water reversed, and this is the most lover's card for the 2 of cups, 2 of water that I've seen in any deck. Like, that's such a sexy, sexy card, but it's reversed. And then we've got this, oh, I didn't even realize we had this one with it. We've got the 5 of earth upright, and then also the 8 of earth reversed. And so, in a nutshell, it feels like there's parts of you that you've hidden away. This feels like past relationships, past interactions. It doesn't just have to be romantic, but because of this card, it does feel like that romantic, maybe sexual soulmate kind of energy, where again, it's that whole conformity thing. And it's one thing to stand in your power when you're on your own, and maybe people are giving you dirty looks at the grocery store or something, and you're just like, fuck you, I don't care if you approve of me. It's a whole nother thing when you enter the realm of vulnerability. Again, this union card. So it's really cool that both of these cards came out, even if this one's reversed. I think what it's saying is that whatever you experienced in the past, that is the balance that you're keeping now in the present as far as union goes. But this feels like there's a greater strength to it, a greater cognizance maybe of the integration that you are undertaking. And again, recognizing that self-worth is an inside job. Nobody can give you self-worth. If you don't value yourself, you can have someone who lifts you up and builds you up every single day, but really you're not going to accept it until you accept it, till you believe it. And so while it's nice to surround ourselves with people who believe in us, definitely nicer than surrounding ourselves with people who are abusing us, of course, but ultimately it's valuing yourself enough to allow a partner to do this work with you. And, and if you're still in that process, then you, again, are integrating within yourself. And so with the 5, this card is traditionally more about abandonment issues, self-worth issues, low self-worth, low self-esteem, low self-acceptance, self-criticism. The interesting take on this, and I love, because this card, I'm always calling it Let Your Freak Flag Fly. There is such an integration of masculine and feminine in this card. There's such a magic to it. This always makes me think of the person who would live on the edge of the village or whatever, and the medicine person that people would come to for healing. And they've got their magical staff with the dragon face and the purple penis and this beautiful sphere of light and magic. And so they are integrated with the earth. They're practically a tree themselves. And I love that in this union card, the bottom torso of this figure is a tree. So, and then so with this 5 of earth energy, Normally, like I said, it's abandonment wounds. It's left out in the cold, low self-worth. And you see that this is the face that they show, but then back here, this is how they really feel. And I think it's because they don't feel like they're allowed to be authentic. And so what I feel like this card represents is that sometimes we feel so rejected by society, or we feel so rejected by our families, or so, just rejected in general, that we tend to rebel. And so we may rebel in a way because that whole, I'm Gen X, fuck you, I won't do what you told me kind of thing, which is really empowering. Fuck you, I won't do what you told me. But sometimes you adopt a counter persona to who you truly are anyway. And so you're still aligned to the conformist. You're just doing the shadow, playing out the shadow of it, which can be very empowering. But at the same time, is that bringing you closer to you? Is that really nourishing you? If you're being a trickster and you're all about in this fuck you energy, again, while it is an aspect of taking your power back from a system that's constantly trying to steal your power through fear and obedience. So again, it is very empowering. This can actually be a step in taking your power back. But ultimately, it's deciding that you deserve more, and you so much don't have anything to prove that you don't even have to prove that you're rebellious. You don't even have to prove that you don't agree with how fucked up people are and how fucked up conformity is. It's just disengaging from all of that, healing these inner wounds, and then accepting yourself completely so that you can let that freak flag fly. And then hopefully this Two of Cups can become very nurturing for you. But it does feel like it's so much about loving yourself, healing yourself, alchemizing for yourself. And if you're doing it with a partner, then it makes sense that a lot of this could be triggered. But whether you're doing it with a partner or you're just partnering with your higher self, however it is, it's really about taking your power back, loving yourself so much, integrating those shadow aspects, and becoming, a light in the world. And that light ultimately is for you. It's to shine that light on what you desire most, and recognizing your ability to manifest your life. And when you're very clear about what it is that you want in your life, then those manifestations can come easily. Then you just have to learn to value yourself enough to receive it. All right, that's all I have for today. My name is Fairlight. If you would like a palm reading, tarot reading, or astrology reading from me, there will be a link to my Calendly. You can book online with me. Otherwise, if you happen to be in the downtown Asheville area, come on into Instant Karma. It's a one-stop hippie shop. They've got cool clothes, tapestries, candles, crystals, all kinds of groovy stuff that you definitely want to check out. And yes, I can do palm readings online or in person, as well as tarot and astrology. So just hit me up. All right, that's all I have for today. Good luck with the Venus retrograde, and peace and love until next time.